A very dangerous storm system is bringing significant severe weather to the United States next week, and this could bring tornadoes, large hail, and damaging straight line winds, as well as some heavy flash flooding rains and even some heavy snow. So a multifaceted storm system is expected across the United States next week. We're going to be walking you through the weather pattern over the next 7 to 10 days or so and giving you the latest information that you need to know. So make sure to subscribe to the channel here. Follow along with the most reliable, accurate weather information here on YouTube by subscribing. We're less than 500 subscribers away from 130,000. You guys can help me get there by subscribing to my channel. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, especially if you do find this very informative and detailed, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. I definitely do appreciate it. Let's look at the short term, and that's our temperatures, okay? We're looking here at some warmer than normal temperatures wherever you see the oranges, reds, and whites here, and really where you see the whites is where we see those well above normal temperatures here on your Thursday, February 27th. Let's start out west. Let's look at our highs this afternoon here on your Thursday, and notice 70s across most of the California foothills, Southern California here into the low 80s. Same thing over here into Southern Arizona, places like Phoenix and Surprise, Arizona, into the low 80s this afternoon. Into the central U.S. we go. Colder air up there toward the Great Lakes is going to set up a temperature gradient for our Clipper system that will be bringing some rain and or snow showers through the weekend up there. And down to the southwest from there, we're going to see warmer temperatures, 60-degree line going all the way up into South Dakota, 50s for Iowa and Illinois, maybe a 60-degree high down there in far southern Illinois toward SIU and Carbondale. Otherwise, a lot of 70s further to the south and along the Gulf Coast. Into the southeast we go, United States, 70s from Carolinas down into Georgia and Florida this afternoon. A little bit cooler up there into the Ohio Valley, into the 40s and 50s, and much cooler with a deeper snowpack up there again from Maine to New York State and northern Pennsylvania. Deeper snowpack holding our temperatures down in the 20s and 30s this afternoon. Now, as we go through the rest of this week into Friday, February 28th, which marks the end of February, going to be seeing some above normal temperatures there as well, but even extending into the weekend, especially out west, we're going to see those above normal temperatures continue. Now, a cold front will bring a little bit of a reprieve of cooler air down from Canada into the Great Lakes, Midwest, and Ohio Valley for the weekend, and that will just continue as we go into Sunday before warming up early next week. Now let's look at the precipitation. This is going to be some snowfall across portions of southeastern Canada, interior sections of the Northeast as we go through the day today. We got a strong Clipper system though on Friday moving in across portions of Manitoba, Ontario, and the upper Great Lakes. So the upper peninsula of Michigan, northern lower Michigan could see some heavier snowfall Friday morning, so watching out for that. And then that snowfall moving over to the Northeast. Now, if areas aren't affected by precipitation like Des Moines, the Twin Cities, and Chicago very much, you're going to get affected by the wind. We're going to see a lot of wind here coming out of the north and west on Friday, and this could bring a lot of cooler air down with that backdoor cold front, so be ready for that. Now, we are looking at the potential for some isolated strong to severe storms in Ohio, mainly central and southern Ohio, into northeast Kentucky, western West Virginia here as we go through the day today, mainly for gusty winds to 60 miles an hour and some quarter-size hail, a brief tornado threat, and it's nothing that we need to be too concerned about, but definitely watching out for any watches or warnings this afternoon. Precipitation here across the United States and southern Canada going through the weekend. This goes through Monday, March 3rd. Notice most of the precip out west and mainly in northern California and Oregon, and then over here into the interior sections of the Northeast, otherwise the Great Lakes region here for mostly the snowfall potential. The upper peninsula there, Michigan, northern lower Michigan over here into upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine could see a good 3 to 6 inches or so of snow, so definitely enough to shovel, so don't be putting those snow boots and snow shovels away just yet. Up there, maybe seeing some snowfall as we go through the weekend. Heading into next week, okay, it's calm before the storm. We're warming up the temperatures. In the orange, that is where we have above normal temperatures. In the blue, that's where we have below normal temperatures. And notice that's focused with below normal down here toward California, Nevada, and the Four Corners region. That is the direction where our trough will be coming from. And with a trough and a low pressure, you get cooler air, but more active weather. And look how active we'll be across the lower 48 next week. A lot of green and a lot of dark green. That's well above normal minimal precipitation as we go into next week. And it all is tied to our big storm system that is going to bring some significant severe weather, possibly a tornado outbreak to the United States into the Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. So let's look at the jet stream here. This is at 500 millibars. This is Monday morning, March 3rd. Starting to see a strengthening low pressure out here in the desert Southwest. Look at the jet stream. See the reds and those maroon red or brown shaded colors rounding the base of that trough, almost becoming negatively tilted there on Tuesday. That's why we're so concerned about a severe weather outbreak across the lower Mississippi Valley Tuesday evening, and then a really strong jet streak across Virginia, the Carolinas, and Georgia as we go into Wednesday, as we go into the middle of next week. Now let's look at the storm system in earnest with the precipitation here. You have the energy moving in across the west. The blue is the snow. The green is the rain there on Monday. Notice we got that low pressure diving down into western Kansas as we go into Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and into early Tuesday morning. Heavy snow across portions of the Rockies there. And then here we go. We got the warm front lifting north into the Midwest. Cold front severe weather setup. This could be a very big severe weather setup for places like Oklahoma, East Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi is pertaining to a potential tornado outbreak really across this region. Heavy deformation snow on the backside, Colorado up into the panhandle of Nebraska and into South Dakota. And then we watch that move east and look at that mature low pressure system there. We have very heavy deformation snow from the upper peninsula of Michigan down into the Badger State of Wisconsin and into Iowa, maybe clipping northwest Illinois there with some colder rain as well. And then that cold front severe weather setup all across the eastern seaboard on Wednesday we'll be keeping a close eye on. And then that storm sweeps to the east as we go into Thursday and Friday next week. Here's the concern. The Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has upgraded and upped the ante on the severe weather for 6 days out. This is already a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk from East Texas along and east of the I-35 corridor, southern portions of Arkansas, much of north central Louisiana, including Shreveport, Monroe, and then getting into the Jackson, Mississippi area. If you guys live in these areas, be on high alert as we go into early next week, as we could be upgraded even further to a moderate risk of severe weather as we get closer. In the yellow surrounding that is a slight risk, level 2 out of 5, that extends up into the Jonesboro, Arkansas area, northeast Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, the Music City there in Nashville, as far east there as the Knoxville region, Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Florence, all the way down there into portions of the near Montgomery areas as well. So a big scope of severe weather as we go into Tuesday. And then as we go into Wednesday, even further east, 7 days out, we have a slight risk of severe weather here from portions of the Delmarva all the way down through all of the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, Georgia, and southeastern Alabama as we go into Wednesday with all modes of severe weather, tornadoes, possibly strong tornadoes, widespread damaging winds, and some large hail. Let's look at the Tuesday setup here. Looking at instability, it is going to be growing, especially with further south extent as you get closer to the Gulf here, around 2,000 joules per kilogram. Now, at least 1,000 joules per kilogram could get as far north as Missouri, so that's plenty of instability. So we watch Tuesday morning, isolated storm clusters ongoing from Monday night and into Tuesday morning, mainly hail potential here. I'm not really looking at a tornado threat right now for Tuesday morning. Now, as we go deeper into the day, by midday and then onward into the afternoon and evening Tuesday, watching for supercell thunderstorms here and some clusters of storms, squall line potentially, and this could produce all modes of severe weather. Tornadoes, possibly some strong long track tornadoes if we can see more of a supercellular storm environment, and then we could be looking at more of that large hail potential into the afternoon. And watch as that sweeps across Arkansas, East Texas, east of the I-35 corridor, into Louisiana, and then eventually into Mississippi and even western Tennessee there. Those storms will be entering into Alabama overnight, so we could have nocturnal tornadoes being a problem here. Now, this is why we're so concerned about the tornado threat on Tuesday. The low-level jet here coming straight from south to north is going to be kind of overlapping the mid-level jet out of the 500 millibar layer that's going to be coming in from the west to the east. So a lot of turning of the winds with height and a lot of speed shear near the ground, which could create tornado genesis through the nighttime there on Tuesday. Now let's look at Wednesday here. Instability not as strong as on Tuesday, but still around 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram across the southeast. And here we go Wednesday morning. We got some isolated storms turning more scattered. And again, this looks like a supercellular setup for Virginia, even as far north north is Maryland and Delaware. We have to watch this, and into the Carolinas, Georgia, down into North Florida even, and that will continue into Wednesday evening before moving offshore. And again, all modes of severe weather will be in play. The low-level jet on Wednesday is actually even stronger than Tuesday as the system really matures up there toward the Great Lakes, pulling in the wind almost like a vacuum, and you can see over possibly 80 knots of low-level shear here across the Delmarva as we go into Wednesday. So the system's not only going to be producing some severe weather, but heavy rainfall and the potential for flash flooding up near the Ohio River Basin, an area that has been saturated lately with recent storm systems. We could see over an inch of rain there, and then obviously on the cold side could see at least a few inches of plowable snow from the upper peninsula of Michigan into Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, back to the central plains like Nebraska and Kansas as we go through next week's time frame. Now, as we go into the second week of March, we're going to do this all over again. Look at the west. It's cooler, right? That means the trough's coming in, ridge out east, and that is a very favorable pattern for another severe weather outbreak in similar areas, possibly maybe a little bit further to the north as well, toward the Ohio River Basin as we go in towards portions of next week. And you can see heavy rainfall will also be a concern here, so flash flooding will be a concern. And then on the cold side, snowfall, heavy snow into southeastern Canada, northern Maine, and then back here toward the upper Midwest like Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then the Dakotas there into the northern plains as we go into the second week of March. We're going to continue to pump out these updates for you folks on a 2-a-day basis. So we're going to have another video later on here this afternoon and evening, so make sure to be looking out for that this evening as it's posted, as we continue to monitor the latest information on the severe weather threat for you folks as we get closer to this event next week. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow along with all my detailed, reliable, and accurate weather information here on YouTube. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, especially if you found it informative, and please share this video with friends, family, and on social media, because severe weather, significant severe weather, is in the forecast, and we need as many people as possible to be aware of this situation as we go into next week. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you again later, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday out there.